Hey guys, Jimmy here from Transform Your Body, and today we're talking about intermittent fasting because there's a lot of hype going around at the moment, whether it's good, some people think it's bad, and this is your beginner's guide to intermittent fasting because I actually think it's quite good, but let's go through the info and then you can see if it fits for you. So first of all, what is it? It refers to the times of the day where we're eating, which is called the fed state, compared to the times of the day where we're not eating, the fasting state. And there's many different types, but there's an example of a couple here is we do like a 16-hour fast. And that's where we're actually eating for 8 hours. So you have your first meal of the day at 12:30 at lunchtime. Then you have your last meal of the day at 8:30. Then repeat that same cycle for the following day. The next one is example of a 24-hour fast. So just say you have dinner at 6 o'clock on a Monday night. Then you wouldn't actually eat again until 6 o'clock on the following day, the Tuesday. So you're not actually going a whole day without food, but it is technically still 24 hours. So why the fast in the first place? So this is what's been coming up a lot in the health industry, and there's many reasons, and there's a lot of health benefits. It supports weight loss, easy to maintain a low body fat, or like maintain the body weight that you've actually got to after doing all your hard work in the gym and dieting. Plus, it also helps you understand the difference between your psychological and your actual physical hunger, because there's a lot of the times where we've conditioned ourselves as to what we think hunger might be just because we're in certain scenarios or social settings. And it also helps you distinguish the difference between thirst versus hunger. A lot of times we take thirst as we're hungry. Now, let's get into a couple of the health benefits here. We've got the decrease in body fat and body weight, maintenance of your lean muscle mass, decrease in blood glucose levels, which is your blood sugar levels, decreased insulin levels and increased insulin sensitivity, increased fat oxidation, which is fat burning, increased norepinephrine and epinephrine levels, these aid in fat burning, increased glucagon levels, increased growth hormone levels, these help repair a muscle and burn fat, decreased food-related stress, decreased chronic systemic inflammation, like some chronic diseases, and increased cellular cleansing, just to name a few. Now we're going to go into detail on just some of my favorite ones from that one there, some of the most important ones. And the first one is decreased insulin levels and increased insulin sensitivity. So this is too much insulin there equals belly fat, which is put into layman's terms. So whenever you eat any food, your blood insulin levels do increase. So some foods do this more than others, but still, whenever you eat anything, insulin levels go up. Insulin is the primary signal that tells your body to store the energy from your food as body fat and glycogen. So glycogen is stored energy in our muscle cells. Insulin is the key that drives glucose, or the sugar, out of your blood and into your fat and muscle cells. So basically, when insulin levels are high, you're in storage mode. Plain and simple. So what's more, when insulin is elevated, you're unable to release fat from your fat stores. So the key thing to remember is when your insulin is high, your body fat isn't going to go anywhere. Now, the problem with insulin lies in the fact that most of us are eating too much, too often. As a result, we have chronically elevated insulin levels. Chronically elevated insulin levels are also associated with the development of insulin resistance, which is also known as, can be on the track to, diabetes, inflammation, cardiovascular disease, and some other forms of cancer as well. The next health benefit is decreased blood glucose levels, or also known as blood sugar levels. So the problem occurs when we're constantly eating, or even worse, we're consistently overeating. So when we're consistently overeating, our bodies struggle to keep up with the continuous supply of glucose, or otherwise known as sugar, and we run the risk of chronically elevated blood glucose levels and the long-term health consequences that are associated with this state. This problem becomes even worse in the situations of obesity and inflammation. So simply by taking a brief break from eating, like with the fasting phases that we were talking about earlier, you're able to give our metabolisms enough time to slowly correct our blood glucose levels by reducing our body fat. and the amount of food we eat, we create an environment where our bodies can once again easily regulate our blood glucose levels. Even as short as that 12 to 18 hours of fasting can help dramatically with this. The next health benefit is increased epinephrine and norepinephrine levels. Epinephrine and norepinephrine are fight or flight hormones. So basically like the adrenaline sort of side of things there. And they're also collectively combined together called catecholamines. And these are released from the adrenal glands during periods of stress. So including times when food is absent, such as fasting or intense exercise really. But when they are released into the bloodstream, the catecholamines trigger the release of glucose from the energy stores, that stored energy I was talking about earlier, and increase fat burning. So they also make you feel awake and alert. So fasting increases the amount of both of these hormones in your blood. This is your body's way of maintaining your blood sugar levels and increasing your fuel supply by helping to release fatty acids from your fat stores. Basically saying burning fat. Also, we get increased growth hormone levels. So a lot of misconception thinks like, even just with the name growth means you're going to get bigger or something like that. So you're not going to end up looking like this lady here. She's actually gone down the path of lots of male hormone supplementation, steroids, otherwise known as. So the increased growth hormone levels, this is an extremely important hormone. So throughout the elevation has had responsibility of maintaining growth, lean body mass during the times when food is scarce. So the benefits of increased growth hormones helps you burn fat, helps you repair and build lean muscle tissue, especially after strenuous exercise, and increases metabolism. So if you want increases in the amount of growth hormone released in your body, all you have to do really is fast. There's lots of other things that have been thrown around the rumor mill and stuff like that, but this is the most surefire way that you can do it. Not only does this growth hormone prevent you from losing muscle while you're fasting, it also vitally important in the process of releasing your stored fat so it can be burned for energy, which is a bonus. And it upregulates your key enzymes that allow for the fat that was released from your fat stores to be brought into your muscles to be burned as fuel. So growth hormone, or GH, is also linked to the aging process, or the anti-aging process. Growth hormone is also increased even further with exercise. So the best fasting for the GH response is that 24-hour fast that I was talking about earlier. So the three best ways to increase it: fasting, exercise, deep sleep. It's kind of a catch-22. The extra growth hormone actually helps you sleep better too. So increased weight loss and fat loss. And this is probably the king. This is probably the number one reason why most people are using it. So as you can see, as I've said it earlier, you can see that the fasting sets you up perfectly for fat loss and weight loss. Metabolically, it prepares your body by increasing all of the hormones necessary to increase fat burning. Added to that, it creates a large energy deficit. So your body has virtually no choice but to start burning fat for energy anyways. Also, this helps stop the yo-yo dieting effect. I know everyone's been there and done it before, where you've gone real strict, real hard on a diet before. Yes, you've had results. Yes, you've seen it. It's been tough. You've starved yourself. You've done everything under the sun, but then you bounce back to the same body weight, body fat, if not more. And it's so common. It's so common. So, look, even more impressive than that is that the people who use fasting as a method of weight control maintained most of their weight loss over the course of an entire year. So this is that preventing that yo-yo effect I was talking about. So what's next? It's perfectly normal while doing the fasting phase to feel slightly spacey, irritated for the first time that you try it out. Look, if you absolutely feel like you're right on edge and you're biting everyone's head off and you want to kill someone, then we have a problem there. Then maybe intermittent fasting isn't quite for you, maybe not just yet. It's quite apparent that having excess body fat as well is poor for physical and psychological health. And also, weight loss is not really some sort of mystery held by a select few. It's the ability to apply basic principles that we've outlined here And that's being consistent with it. That's how you're going to get success with any sort of weight loss program, is the consistency. There's 3 types, and these are my 3 favorites: the trial fast, periodic fast, and the daily fast. The trial fast, this is simply just to see if intermittent fasting is even for you. It's just a little experiment. So this is for you to experience intentional hunger, so without actually freaking out, because the hunger response is nowhere near as bad as what you first think it might be. A lot of it is to do with how we perceive it, and we start freaking. Oh my God, I haven't eaten for 4 hours. Got to eat something? No, it's not too bad. You might feel a slight little bit of something, but then after about an hour it goes away. So pick any 24-hour period you like. Try like the lunch to lunch one is one of my favorites. That 2 p.m. say for example on a Sunday, then eat again at 2 p.m. on the Monday, or you can do the dinner to dinner one, that 8 p.m. Sunday, 8 p.m. to Monday. Periodic fast. This one is like, as it says, it's like periodically planned out. And it's for people that, they did the trial one, they actually thought it was kind of good, and they found that they could see some benefits from it, so they want to try it out on a regular basis. So it can be something like once a month, twice a month, once a week, twice per week. It's up to you what you choose and how you want to do it. I wouldn't go any more than twice a week though. And the daily fast. This one is for, like, basically the best way to do it is what we've got here, the 8 hours of eating with 16 hours of fasting. This is for people that are already pretty quite fit, they're already pretty quite lean, but they're looking to step it up a notch and take it to the next level. For example, I've got here where you have your first meal of the day at 11 a.m. and then your last meal of the day at 7 p.m. And then most of the fast, if you've noticed with these protocols here, most of the fasting happens while we're asleep anyway. So when to train, because we've got to keep training while doing intermittent fasting as well. It's like any nutrition program. Exercise alone is not as effective, and diet alone is not as effective as if you combine them together. So it's important to have regular exercise to get all the full effects. I'd recommend breaking the fast right after the training. So I've got, for example here, you train at 9:30 in the morning, do a 45-minute workout, so that's what, 10:15. Then go home and have your first meal at 11. And that gives you ample time to refuel back up straight after your training session. Plus, that should be your biggest meal of the day as well as the first meal of the day. And what to do? This is another big question. People are like, well, what do I do when I'm fasting? What happens there? You can have any sort of liquids really, as long as they're calorie free or very low. And these are my top 4 or 5, or my 5 here. Is green tea, black coffee, branched chain amino acids. These are great. You can mix it in water and it tastes like a Gatorade, and they help with repair and muscle repair and recovery. Greens powders. These are like your spirulina, your other superfoods type powders like that, and water as well. That goes without saying. Water. We need to be plenty hydrated. So the wrap up here, guys, is it's a simple guide here. This is not meant to be a one-size-fits-all. And it's also what I was saying before, intermittent fasting is not for everyone, but at least give it a try and see if it is. This is definitely not for pregnant women or people that have a history of eating disorders like bulimia, because it can really just flip that switch where they start getting really obsessive about food and timings and stuff like that, and can set them off on the wrong path as well. So it also goes without saying that if you've eaten a crappy diet, intermittent fasting will not help you out anyway. So there's no point in breaking the fast with like a burger, fries, ice cream, any sort of sweets or anything like that. Make sure that you're following a healthy nutrition plan full of, your lean protein sources, fruits, vegetables, healthy fats. And like what I said earlier, consistency is the major factor in success with all of this. Whatever diet plan that you follow, whether it's this, the 24-hour one, the periodic fasting, whether it's the daily fast, it's got to be consistent, guys. That's how we get success. Look, for more info, guys, if you want to jump on the Facebook page, facebook.com/t.y.body. Visit the blog on the page there. You can email me as well, Jimmy@tybrockstars.com, or you can give me a call as well, 0451 163 211. I hope you found this helpful, guys, and I'll speak to you soon.